Hey friends, no matter how many motivational videos you watch, your motivation and excitement level will fade away after some time. And in the end, you will again start doing things according to your habits. As humans are creatures of habits and it's really difficult for us to change them. But before that, we should know what habits we have to change or develop in ourselves. Because getting our habits right can mean the difference between success and failure. Not only in our personal lives, but in our professional lives and in the communities we live in. Today I am going to share with you these 7 habits that will make you a really effective person. So let's begin. Habit number 1. Be proactive. At a restaurant, a cockroach came and sat on a lady. She started screaming in fear. With a panicked face and trembling voice, she started jumping with both her hands trying to get rid of the cockroach. Her reaction was contagious, which made everyone in the group also panic. The lady finally managed to push the cockroach away, but it landed on another lady in the group. Now it was the turn of the other lady in the group to continue the drama. The waiter rushed forward for the rescue. In the relay of throwing, the cockroach next fell upon the waiter. The waiter, instead of screaming or panicking, stood firm, composed himself, and observed the behavior of the cockroach on his shirt. When he was confident enough, he grabbed the cockroach with his finger and threw it out of the restaurant. Now we can relate this story with the concept of proactive and reactive people. Here the waiter was a proactive person because he did not react to the situation which came to him, unlike the ladies did. But instead, he handled it with proper thinking and action. There is a great difference between proactive and reactive people. Reactive people love to play the blame game. According to them, all the problems happening to them are because of the government, their boss, or other people, etc. According to them, things are not in their control, but in the hands of other people or circumstances. They think the problem is out there, but in reality, that thought is the problem. Reactivity becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, and reactive people feel increasingly victimized and out of control. They usually say things like, "There is nothing I can do, that's just the way I am, he makes me mad." On the other hand, proactive people take the control of their feelings in their own hand instead of giving someone else. They take 100% responsibility for their actions and behavior. They don't blame the situation but rather think of solution instead. So in order to be proactive, we must focus on the circle of influence that lies within our circle of concern. In other words, we must work on the things we can do something about and not to focus on things we can't do anything about, like the reactive people usually do. Habit number 2. Begin with the end in mind. This habit is similar to the law I explained in my How to Be Powerful video. Now imagine you are at a funeral, but this one is different from any other funeral you have ever attended. As you come to know that this is actually your own funeral. Now stop and think. What are the things you would really like others to say about you? Or what would you like to say about yourself at that time? Example, do you want to be remembered as a great friend? Then are you behaving as a great friend right now, which will make your friends to say that? Do you want to be remembered as a person who added a lot of value to the society and helped many people in need? If yes, then are you working on it right now? Are your actions aligned with the goals you want to accomplish? Ask yourself, what are the things that you definitely want to achieve before you die, and start working on it. Don't just do things without any clue of the end. Habit number 3. Put first things first. How many times we catch ourselves scrolling our Facebook feeds, watching YouTube videos or TV when we have a lot of other important things needed to be finished. This is one of the most common habits which wastes so much of our time and holds us back from going above the average. It is simple yet really hard to develop this habit, but in order to manage ourselves effectively, we must put first things first. We must prioritize our day-to-day action based on what is the most important and not what is the most urgent. All the habits in this book are related to each other. So when you decide your end goals properly, then work to complete that goals. You must put things which will help you to complete your main goal at first place. Never let less important things to keep you away from doing things which are of most importance. Time is very precious, so be stingy with your time rather than money. Habit number 4. Think win-win. Suppose you think of starting your own business. You make a plan thinking all about your profits, growth, and create a product which is not that helpful to your customers, but still with your great marketing team and persuasion skills, you sell it to a lot of people and start making profits. Now do you think you will really make it big by doing this and get long-term results? Of course you won't, because by doing this you are creating a win-lose situation. In order to make it big, you should always think of a win-win outcome for everyone. You should think more about adding values and benefits that you can bring to your customers. Doing this will automatically make your profits and hence yourself big. I see a lot of people having mentality that in order for them to win, someone else has to lose, which is called the scarcity mentality. In other words, which means if you get it, I won't. But in reality, there is plenty out here for everyone. We just need to develop the mentality which is called the abundance mentality. And always try to create win-win outcome in any situation, business or agreement for the best results. Habit number 5. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. Let's say you go to an optometrist and tell him that you have been trouble seeing clearly. So he takes off his glasses, hands them to you and says, "You should try these, they have been working for me for years." So you put them on, but it only makes the problem worse. Now what are the chances you would go back to that optometrist? Yet in our everyday interactions with others, we do the same thing. We prescribe a solution before we diagnose the problem clearly. We start criticizing people without understanding their feelings. We focus on what the other people said and react thinking, how can he say that? When our main question should be, why did he said like that? And what were the real feelings behind it? So before you can offer advice, suggest solutions, or effectively interact with another person in any way, you must seek to deeply understand them and their perspective through empathetic listening. You should not listen with the intent to reply, but rather understand. The most important point is that the person should feel you understood. When you will start doing this, people will also start understanding you. Habit number 6. Synergy. If you put two plants close together, their roots will commingle and improve the quality of the soil, so that both plants will grow better than they would have on their own. Principle of synergy encourages us to team up with people rather than fighting or trying to take each other down. Example, there was a tree with apples on it. Two men were trying to pick apples from it, but they were too short to reach them. So one man got above the second and picked all the apples. This was the use of synergy. Like this example, if we synergize with people, we can obtain better results, increase our capabilities tremendously and have much better chances in reaching our goals. Habit number 7. Sharpen the saw. Once a man was trying to cut down a tree, but even after putting a lot of effort, he was not able to complete his task. There was a lumberjack who was watching him, and after understanding his struggle, he came to him and gave him an advice that he should first sharpen the saw, as his saw was not sharp enough to cut down the tree. After listening this, the man replied, "But that will take time." Now you might find the reply stupid, but we are also somewhat like this man only. We can't take out 30 minutes from our day to exercise so that we can have a good health. We can't read a book for 15 minutes to improve our knowledge and then we shamelessly complain that why we have such kind of a life. Habit number 7 is focused on improving ourselves or taking time to sharpen the saw. One of the best things you can do with your time is to spend it on improvising yourself continuously. To be effective, we must devote our time in improving ourselves physically, spiritually, mentally and socially, which will help us to practice the remaining 6 habits as it surrounds all the other habits and make each one possible by preserving and enhancing the greatest asset we have, that is ourselves. These concepts are taken from the book 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, which is again one of my favorites. Hit like if you found the habits effective, comment your views, share to spread the knowledge and subscribe for getting more habits that will help you to become an effective person. Finally, thanks for watching.